got leaked, boys. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? You know, I can't believe it, boys. We got like probably the 15th leak on a GTA 6 release before the game is out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I like covering these leaks because at the end of the day, unless something is like actually pretty damningly good, I like to cover it. There's been a lot of clickbait and bullshit about this game, and if you notice, when I make a video about GTA or whatever, it's usually something that is actually meaningful and not like the 40th, like the other day, there was literally people freaking out because I guess they added like a trunk closing sound effect, and I'm like, guys, I think we've reached Arkham Asylum levels of fucking insanity with this community. But actually, today something crazy happened. So today we are looking at a group known as Cyberleek. Now, apparently this is the hacker group that has apparently been leaking Grand Theft Auto 6 Video 1, the full map basketball video, sneak peeks. I don't know why you would give me a sneak peek when, you know, at the end of the day, you just gave me the whole ass thing. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, to give you an idea, these leaks have apparently been pretty damn legitimate. Now, how do we know they're pretty legitimate? Well, there's been a lot of leaked crap on Rockstar stuff. For instance, in the last several months, one of the most annoying things is accounts like this releasing footage where it's clearly AI slopped footage of Grand Theft Auto. You know, the main character running up, I don't know if it's a Ubisoft game where the vehicle reverses in, somehow a real-life car brand, a Ferrari, has shown up, and the fact that we're playing a Ubisoft game where I see the triangle prompt two times on top of a vehicle telling me to get the fuck in. So again, ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, it's stuff like this where obviously Rockstar could probably shut it down, but they don't. Rockstar doesn't take it down with the DMCA. Their lawyers don't get fucking involved. But in these leaks, ladies and gentlemen, they actually have been removing some of these things. Yeah, the pages don't exist. Now, I was never going to show you the actual video for this kind of stuff, mostly because since Rockstar has DMCA'd this shit, it's probably like fucking legit at this point, okay? Like, this person has been releasing a real set of footage. Now, I do have the video right over here present on my system. So, for instance, I did download these leaks. Yes, I watched them. I will talk about what's in them because I don't think that violates the law. But I actually pulled some information off of these leaks using a local model, and I actually ascertained that these videos were encoded all the way back in 2023. Now, that's not when they were recorded. That's when they were just captured, right? So again, these are definitely older videos. Like, if this is a fake leak, all right, a lot of effort has been put into it. Now, to go to the actual hackers in this case, this is where it kind of like intersects with some of the stuff that I've been talking about. So Cyberleek, the organization right over here releasing all of this extra stuff, which they're just doing like every hour. I think we're actually going to get a lot more, throughout this case. But if you go to the About section, they have an edict. Cyberleek was born in the networks. It has seen what gaming can be at its best, and it has watched what the industry did to it slowly, methodically, one monetization scheme at a time. Publishers sell licenses and call them purchases. They ship unfinished games and call them living services. They lock content on discs and call it DLC. They kill games and keep the money. Every year, anti-consumerism tightens its grip, and every year, gamers get less for what they pay for. To fight this war, Cyberleek is raising funds for a secret project. So they're not going to reveal it yet, okay? It's not a cash grab. It's needed for the infrastructure needed to strike, as well as the security and protection required to withstand the corporate counterattacks. So yeah, this is an organization that has a crypto coin attached to it, which obviously, let's be real with you over here. Anything like this is one of those situations where throw money in, they're going to exit with the money, and you will have nothing. So please do not actually be doing this. Unfortunately, in this case, it seems like there have been a lot of buys. By releasing this GTA leaked footage, you can see people putting in buy orders of like $100, $7, $5, $19. So yeah, I guess there is a financial incentive in this, and it does seem to be working. So I want to, before we read more into their manifesto, I'm going to look at one of their map leaks. Now, again, I don't think this would violate like a DMCA thing, but from what I understand, if this is real, Rockstar could, in theory, probably shut this video down. And I guess if they do that, then ultimately, the end of the day, you know, fuck. I guess it's real, which they have not been shutting down some of these map leaks. If they do, the video section you're watching right here will obviously be blurred, and I'll probably cut it down at this point, okay? Because again, if this turns out to be real, the last thing I want to invoke on me is like a fucking Rockstar lawyer slitting my throat, okay? Like full jihadi style. But again, one thing that I've seen in these map leaks is there's a lot of points that showcase, obviously, there's, I guess, tons of stores, and it doesn't look to be AI generated in the sense that the road, logic starts to make a lot of sense. Like you can zoom into small places where AI would typically fuck up, and it doesn't seem like those fuck ups are happening. The downside of this map leak is it seems like the other cities in the game, aside from Vice City, are actually considerably smaller sections of the game. And in fact, they're so small, they might as well be like Paleto Bay from GTA 5, which is a pretty big like kick in the balls for me, because ultimately, at the end of the day, I wish this game, since it's a state now that we're going through Leonida, you know, Vice City would be the big main city, but there would also be two other cities that I would imagine should have at least been like Los Santos sized, right? I mean, how long have people been waiting for this game? If you're going to bill it like this, if you're going to say the state of Leonida, it should be like the state of San Andreas from the PS2, where we had 3 fucking cities and a bunch of in-between areas. What I don't like about this HD stuff is they have one main city, and just generally the rest of it is like pretty like, you know, rural areas with like not a lot of other, like there should be other cities for me to run to and commit crimes in Grand Theft fucking Auto. So anyways, going back to the manifesto by these people, they said, Commandment 1, thou shalt not sell digital pre-orders. No consumer shall pay for a game through digital storefronts before release. An independent review. Physical pre-orders for tangible media are permitted. Pre-orders were not created for gamers. They were created because physical discs had manufacturing limits. In digital distribution, there's no inventory. There's no stock shortage. A digital copy cannot sell out. I mean, that's what I've been saying, man. Like, yeah, okay, pre-ordering back in the day, it's still shitty, but like, yeah, I mean, for a game like GTA 5, I pre-ordered it back in the day because I was like, yeah, maybe my like fucking, like maybe my like EB Games will run out of copies. At least I secured the bag there. You know, I got the game. So I could come home to my PlayStation 3, put the Blu-ray in, install the game in like 10 minutes, and just play, right? But in the age where we don't even have the disc anymore, who gives a fuck? Just wait like a week before the game releases, so you can just download it, like pre-download it, and then play it on midnight. You don't need to buy it like right now. Who gives a shit? They don't give you anything for buying it right now. Yet publishers keep the pre-order system and strip away its only consumer benefit. Absolutely. If publishers want revenue before launch, they can press discs, print boxes, put them on shelves. Well, they do print boxes, just those boxes have codes in it now. Commandment 2, thou shalt not sell fake single-player DLC. No publisher shall sell access to single-player content already presented in the base game files the consumer purchased. Means no unlock keys, no 1 megabyte placeholder files, no toggling the variable from lock to unlock for content already on the disc or in the download. Which I guess they're talking about the Ultimate Edition, which obviously, as we all know, comes with all this extra content, which absolutely exists on the base game. It's just, unless you decided to pay Rockstar money, this 95 Grody Cheetah will not spawn in your save file unless you gave them the extra $20, which it seems like gamers have majority of the people pre-ordering this have absolutely put in the extra $20. So again, I don't know how effective the gamer is in that case, right? Commandment 3, thou shalt preserve single-player content. Any game featuring single-player content must include an offline fallback state. When server support ends, the publisher must release a full patch that unlocks all single-player content for local indefinite play. The Crew had single-player campaigns. People paid full price. Then Ubisoft shut this down. And then the final word. These 3 commandments are the floor, not the ceiling of what is acceptable. If publishers violate them, they will be targeted. Cyberleek will continue to disrupt their operation until they issue a public statement and apology with a concrete commitment to fix the harm they caused. Now, here's the thing. If this is all true, and the footage that I've seen, so let me talk a little bit about the footage. There's 2 clips that exist so far. One of the clips is of Jason at the home that was shown in trailer 2, and he basically jumps down, and it looks very close to the physics engine of Red Dead Redemption 2. Very shockingly close, to the point that I thought, did somebody just mod Red Dead 2 with all this content? But that's not the case. The surrounding visuals matched pretty closely to what we've seen in the trailer. Like, even the areas that we saw from the overlooking shot in trailer 2, a lot of that surrounding area that you wouldn't have seen feels logically filled in, and it doesn't seem like bullshit. Jason can pick up a basketball and, throw it around. The second clip is more of the substance. So basically you're driving around and, eventually Jason impacts his car with like a delivery vehicle. The delivery guy gets out San Andreas style, when you piss off an NPC and they're like, I gotta fucking pick a fight with you. You get out of the car, start beating the shit out of them. There's like a health meter, a stamina gauge. And what's interesting is there's like an honor system, so like a negative emoji kept popping up every time you like fucking smacked the dead guy, which I thought was kind of real. Like, I thought this is where it was getting into like the fake territory, because I was like, oh, are they really just copying all the UI shit from Red Dead 2? So eventually the cops show up and, he gets a 2-star wanted rating. He gets into his vehicle, which every vehicle now gives you like the name and like the year that it was manufactured. So in this case, it was the 70s Vapid Ganado. And underneath it, there was like an engine like core health bar from like, the same style Red Dead 2 has. And then a gas bar. So I don't know if fueling your car is a thing. Would be interesting. I'm personally not against it. The game also, underneath the wanted stars, had like 3 icons. So there was an icon of a coat hanger. So obviously saying that the cops recognize your clothing, you better change your clothes if you don't want the cops to catch you. They had the vehicle, so the cops recognized the car that I was escaping in. And I think it was like the face as well. So I think that's like a slight push that if you are caught by the cops, switch off to another character, cool it down for a little bit. Now here's the thing, right? I am not like opposed to the game having more realistic views, like realistic simulations. I think that's what I want from GTA 6. For anybody that, has played GTA games, GTA 4 is when they allowed you to escape cops without hitting a pay and spray above the 1-star wanted rating. So you could escape the radius, chill for a few seconds, and the cops would lose you. GTA 5, you also escape the radius, but you wait longer in relation to your character's stealth rating. And then that would just, you would cool down and then escape that way. I hope GTA 6 has like kind of a memory thing where even if you escape like a cop chase, just driving the same car, wearing the same clothes is enough for like the vice cops to like look around and say, hey, that's the guy that we were looking at. That would be cool realism that I would be okay with, like changing my clothes, which has been a thing in GTA since like Vice fucking City, enough to also lose your wanted rating. And then of course, I want all these systems to kind of be in the game. So obviously there was like a bit of the radio that we heard. So again, this leak that I was seeing, even the vehicles on the road, and I'm very eagle-eyed, they were exact like matches for the same parody car brands in the GTA universe. So point is, if what we saw was fake, and I don't think it is fake, because if it was, Rockstar, I don't think, would be issuing all these DMCAs. But even if it was fake, it's such a well-done fake that I think the community's having a fun time thinking, oh my god, what the fuck? Now, here's the thing. If Cyberleek has actually hacked into, like, Rockstar, and I think this is obviously a breach of Rockstar servers, maybe a location got hacked, files ended up getting grabbed. What I'm kind of wondering, and again, this is the worst case scenario in my head. I could imagine that in the days, and there's only 9 days until we see like more of this game on Netflix, I imagine just for the hell of it, and I guess I'll be keeping a close eye to the ground, obviously, because I'm a fucking fan of GTA and I like this shit. I'll be watching and seeing if these guys release more, because ultimately, I really don't give a fuck about like what Rockstar's fifis are in this case. At the end of the day, I have no investment in Take-Two and Rockstar. Like, I have no stock that I've purchased. GTA is just a game to me. At the end of the day, some of the shitty decisions Take-Two has made to the gamer, I don't mind seeing them have a little bit of kick in the... having a little bit of, like... I don't mind seeing egg on their face, is all I'm saying. Now, the map, ultimately, when we go back to it, felt pretty close to what I saw with the actual, like... the Yanis community map, which is like the current community map that people are building for Vice City. So, for instance, based on every leak, people have been putting together, like, obviously all of what they think Vice City is going to be. So I'm interested to see what, Rockstar ends up like releasing. The leaked map looks pretty close to this, with obviously a lot more of this dead area filled in. And from what it looks like, it seems pretty fucking accurate. And honestly, at the end of the day, I'm just interested to see how things kind of go from here, right? The worst case scenario, and again, remember, this is the worst case scenario. Remember, crypto groups did not hack Rockstar the first time. The first time, well, this wasn't a Rockstar hack, but if you remember back when the first trailer was coming out, the leak happened where somebody slapped in like buy BTC. So obviously there's an incentive for hacker groups to like come in, promote whatever token they have or just the ecosystem and profit off of the hype that surrounds GTA. But if Cyberleek is pretty serious about punishing Rockstar, I think the worst punishment is if somehow, somewhere, Rockstar Games decides, or sorry, Cyberleek decides to leak like a 2022, 2023 build of the game that people can download and run on their systems. That would be fucking insane. And somehow, I don't doubt that we might see GTA 6 leaked before GTA 6, in some, like the actual game being leaked before the actual like release. You know, it's happened in the past before. I remember Watch Dogs ended up getting leaked a little bit. Half-Life 2 famously was one of those games that also got leaked, and its hype levels are probably, you know, comparatively at the same level as what we're seeing with like GTA 6. So again, wild fucking shit, man. You know, when the army is using GTA 6 allegedly as a recruitment mechanisms to re-enlist in, you know, the hype for a game is pretty serious. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm just here for it, man. I'm here for the shit show. Good, bad, I'm just watching from my little corner of the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.